This musket right here is quite interesting because it's identified to the particular soldier that carried it during the Revolutionary War, a man named Simeon Hix. Hicks began the war in Massachusetts, where even before the war began in 1774, he had enrolled in a minute company in Rehoboth. As such, he mobilized with a lot of the rest of the Massachusetts militia in response to the Lexington alarm of April 19, 1775. He later did duty in the young Continental Army, helping to fortify the works on Dorchester Heights that eventually forced the British out of Boston in early 1776. By 1777, though, Hicks and his family had moved to New Hampshire, and it was there that once again he was called into militia service in the various alarms surrounding the invasion of New York by General John Burgoyne's army in 1777. In particular, later that summer, Hicks answered the call for a 2-month tour of duty with the New Hampshire militia, as Burgoyne's army sent troops into the southern part of what is today Vermont, culminating at the Battle of Bennington. This musket was issued to Hicks for his service in 1777 during the Bennington alarm. Now, not every militiaman had their own firearm to bring or brought their own firearm into the field, and the states needed to provide these militiamen with muskets in many cases. This particular musket is quite interesting because we know that it was part of a shipment that had arrived in Portsmouth, New Hampshire only in that spring of 1777. The state of New Hampshire pulled off 2,000 muskets from this shipment of clandestine aid from France before France had officially allied itself with the United States. And of those 2,000, many of them were issued to the New Hampshire Continental soldiers that were stationed at Ticonderoga and evacuated from the fortress in July. However, from the balance of arms that the state had in their hands, a number of them were provided to militiamen like Hicks to arm them for this campaign against the British incursion into the New Hampshire grants, into Vermont. And Hicks carried this musket during the Battle of Bennington, where he fought with the rest of the New Hampshire militia. And in fact, during the engagement, he and other soldiers rounded up a number of German prisoners, including the highest-ranking officer in the field that was still alive, the Major of the Brunswick Dragoons, who he escorted off the battlefield. Hicks later went home to his home in New Hampshire, did not see additional service in quite as dramatic a capacity, although he did later answer some militia calls, and this musket that he had had with him stayed with the family. It's actually marked with his initials, S. Hicks, on the butt, and is a reminder of the military service that was provided by, in this case, a true citizen soldier.